Good morning. So I had a couple of questions about soccer time, big country soccer time. This is the the fourth edition version of the Quillbound book. I give an example in the book. I'm not certain. Again, I've had the question. It leads me to believe that this person doesn't own the book because it's in the book. But anyway. So I give an example of how to set up a team and how to give it a goal chance. So the question was, how do you assign goal ranges? Well, again, my games are based on a fictional team. So you're going to create your team as the game states, and then you can write down your 11 starting players, give them a position, a number, uniform number, and a name. So I give an example of how to do that in the book. So again, maybe this person doesn't own the book, but I'll answer the question because hopefully this helps understand. So you create the teams in the book by rolling up the ratings on a chart and their team ratings. Again, the game is greatly abstracted. You do not need to have players or even a roster like this. So as an example, though, because I like having players and I like seeing players, not affect play, but I like to see the results go to a player, and I like to see players, come and go from teams or maybe get transferred, things like that. But the players don't have any ratings. So Bayside would have team ratings. This just tells you which players might be involved. So if on any of the charts a goal is scored, you roll a 1d6, and whatever player on that 1d6 has the range will score the goal. So there are 5 players. There's only 5 players on Bayside who will potentially score a goal this season for Bayside. And Booth, their striker, has the best chance. So every time a goal is scored, he's going to have a 34% chance of being the guy that scores that goal. Right? So I just assign a 1d6 number. I could have 6 players that could score. I could have just 3 players that score all the goals for this team. And that'd be over the course of the season, it would add up, right? Booth would end up leading this team probably over the course of the season. Same thing for turnovers, right? This just tells you who gets the turnover. So let's say the other team is attacking and the result on the chart leads to a TO. That means they turned it over. You would roll to see which player saved the day, stealing the ball from the attacking team. And again, you can weight this to whatever players you think, right? So if Swanson gets that turnover, holy cow, that means the attack happened on the other team's side of the pitch. Right? But if Lincoln makes the turnover, holy cow, that must have been down in the goalie box. Right? So this just gives you an idea where the ball's at when things occur. Right? So if the left midfielder scores a goal, that kind of gives you an idea in your mind's eye where that goal came from and how far out maybe. And then set piece, this is meant to tell you which player sets up the set piece, right? So whether this is the guy kicking on a penalty kick or a corner kick, generally I see the set piece as corner kicks, penalty kicks, etc. There's generally one guy that does most of that for a team. So Wells would do that most of the time. What that would be is that would be a setup for whoever might score a goal. So you would roll a set piece, and say it says it's a set piece. You would roll to see which player's getting that set piece, and then you'd roll the set piece chart, whatever that may tell you. If it says a goal, then you would roll to see who scored that goal. So Wells from a corner kick might put it in, help King head it in. So it's completely optional. This is just for results, team, player records, and data. There are no statistics here for me to do this. I just build the teams and assign the data to give all teams a personality. As the ratings change, as players are transferred or whatever, then I can change all these numbers and change these players easily. So I also had a question about the defense chart. What happens when a defensive team who doesn't have the ball? Well, you don't know who has the ball. So that, again, makes me think that person may not have the rule book, but when it says the defense, a team with a defensive advantage wins, they do have the ball. So for instance, if we get if we have a team that's using the 5+ game grade, and I roll a 6, and then I roll a 3, that would be six segments of time gone, and the defense. Which team has the highest defense advantage? Let's say it is that's who's got the ball. So there is no kickoff per se. So he said, how do you know the team with the kickoff if defense occurs that in the drive? No. That means the team with the best defense creates an opportunity. So you have to look at soccer. This soccer game is abstract. It just tells you the team with the highest defense now has an opportunity on the defense chart to do something. So you'd come down and look at the defense chart. Let's say that team is an A. You roll another D6, and if it says turnover, well, then they turned it over to the opponent, and that's it. That segment of time is done. And we go up here and we roll the game grade again, right? That's how it works. If it's a set piece, then we go to the set piece chart and finish that. If it's a shot, we're going to go to the shot chart and check the goalies. If it's a penalty, then we will resolve the penalty rules. So again, I want to answer these questions because it might be something toward, hey, I might want to buy this game, but I don't know enough about it. So that's why I'd like to give people as much information. I like to be as transparent as possible so people know what they're buying. So the version 2E small coil bound book is the older version of the games. However, soccer has not changed in either. This is the most recent version 4 of every game. They're both in small coil bound books. This one has been there's a font change, and there's the aesthetic and the book layout is better in the 4th edition, and there's been some rule changes to some of the games. But also, it has smaller page count, so I was able to conserve about 40 pages in the latest version, which saves consumers a ton of money. So that's this one's 166 page with 8 different sports in it. And so again, hopefully this helps answer those questions. I just make up the players. I'll randomly create this team, starting 11. Their goalie is number 3, John Willoughby. They run a 4-3-3. So again, this is a traditional old school soccer 4-3-3. And then I put in the 4 defensemen. I put in the 3 midfielders, and then I put in the 3 forwards, right? So we got a left fielder, right fielder, and a striker who would be out front. So this 4-3-3 would be slightly, defense heavy, right? And then I assign a 1d6 number to the guys that could score goals for this team, the players that can get turnovers for this team, stopping an attack, and who would take the set piece goal or get the set piece goal credit, or do the set piece, or even score your set piece goal. So this could be a straight goal. This could also determine who scores a set piece goal. Our center midfielder gets a header into the goal to score, right, or something. So it's up to you. You can create this any way you want. Any number of percentages. I mean, you could make this a 1d10 roll. You can make this a 1d20 roll. You can make this a d100 roll. All of my games feature the d6, so I keep everything using the d6. So people don't need to have a whole bunch of dice to enjoy my games. So hopefully this helps. And again, you're free to set up. Now, granted, if you know in history who played for teams, you could set up historical teams. And again, you can use the goals and percentages to know which players could potentially score goals for historical teams. Turnovers are going to be harder, except you might know, again, subjectively, that, England in 1966 had a brilliant center right defenseman. Then you might want to give him, 1 to 2 turnovers, so he'll stop a lot of balls. And then set piece. Many teams only have 1 or 2 guys that do the set piece, right? I think. I mean, again, I'm not a soccer aficionado, but for the most part, you're going to have that guy that does the corner kicks generally for the team, who places the ball well for guys to get headers. You could break this out too into what kind of is this a field goal, or is this a set piece goal? So you could have set piece goals, you could have field goals, set piece goals, penalty kicks. I mean, you could set this up any way you want. All that matters are the team ratings and the charts. That's what's going to dictate the game. This is all extra. It's totally optional, but that's how I set it up. All right. Hopefully this helps. And again, remember, it's completely abstract. So there is no kickoff. You're going to roll for the number of segments of time that are gone. using the game grade. And yes, there can be a lot of games like here. You're going to literally see a lot of time go. So the lower the game grade, the more action you're going to be going to the charts, but you're not going to see as many attacks. So this is what's happening on the pitch between both teams, not one team. And then if 4+ happens for your team, game grade, you always use this game grade for the whole game, and you roll to see which side of the field is winning. So midfield for team A wins all advantages. They would roll the midfield charts, right? So that's just the way that game's going to be for the day. One team's midfield's better than the other team's midfield, and they're going to get a lot of chart checks. But they might turn it over a lot. They might give up set pieces. So, there you go. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.